Yesterday, in yesterday's video, I said that I was going to take you to the best photo location in London. I am, but bear in mind it's my opinion. In my bag. And my camera. Bye. Seb's on his way already, so hopefully we'll get there at the same time. Before I show you where it is, can any of you actually guess where it is? I'm trying to get them to guess where the best. It's Norwood Park. So for a location like this, you want to make sure you've got like the right focal length. This is currently at 70mm, which, as you can see, is not enough. Focus on me.
Hey folks, welcome to the skills of Sebastian.
In focus now?
Yes, you are.
Am I?
I've got skills. Yeah, you are, yeah.
As you can see, that the city is completely bokeh out. This is at 200mm. This is the city, pointing at it right now, like this. I'm going to show you how you can take a shot of the city from somewhere like this. Settings. Now, when you're doing a longer exposure, you don't need to have an ISO high. I'm going to throw down the ISO to as low as this will go. Most cameras will go as low as 100. Sony's do go down to ISO 50, but that's more of like a negative, like a fake ISO. And then you have, let's keep it at f2.8 for now, and I'm going to reduce the shutter speed to about a second, and you're just going to zoom in onto the city itself. Now, with Sony's and most cameras, when you pull focus, it zooms in for you, but you can also zoom in again. That cropped in by 11.7. and the focus is actually looking pretty good. And then instead of touching the shutter, when you do that and it's on a longer exposure, you're going to be shaking the tripod. So you want to put it on a timer. So let's throw it on a timer. I'm going to put it on a 5-second timer, then press the shutter. Then by the time it's counted down 5 seconds, the tripod should have stabilized and it should take the shot. And it's looking okay. It's a bit hazy, but that's because of the haze itself in the city. But otherwise, it looks pretty good. It's not too noisy, it's in focus, and I'm actually fairly happy with it. But I just wanted to do a nice, simple, long exposure, locked off shot for you, because I've actually had a lot of people ask me about simple photography, and I just wanted to touch on this one, and I thought it'd be insightful and helpful. We're going to copy and paste everything we've just done at Norwood Park and just apply it here. And because of the light trails from the cars, it's going to look way better, especially in editing. We'll look at all of the photos at the end, the brake lights from one side, and then you've got the headlights from the other, so you can have white and red, and fingers crossed it'll look good. Okay, so I've got the 24 to 70mm f2.8 on. I'm going to have it at, what's it at now? I'm going to do one at 50mm, and then I'll do one again at 70mm. An ND filter at ND5, 30th of a second, f2.8, ISO 50. But obviously not everybody has an ND filter, so let's take the ND filter off. And the way we'll do it is we'll obviously change the exposure time, and we'll put the f-stop up to f5, change the focus again, make sure it's all in focus, and again 5-second timer, make sure it's all nice and steady, and then hopefully you get a nice stream of cars that will give you the exposure that you want. Okay, and let's do it at 24mm as well. Now 24mm, you can see on here, obviously brings in a lot of flare. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to cover pretty much the top bit of the frame, but then in post-production, I'll cut it down, I'll crop it up to 4x5. So again, just double checking the focus. Now, the whole idea of this was to give you a basic understanding of how to take long exposure and how you can copy and paste those settings onto any setting. Now, I'll run through some of the settings that I used throughout the night and kind of explain a little bit why I used them. So up in Norwood Park, the whole point of that was to try and get a nice, clean, sharp image. So I was focusing on the distance, which was the city, making sure the focus point was correct, and then leaving it on a timer, which was a 5-second timer with the 5-second shutter speed. That allowed the shutter to stay open for 5 seconds, bringing in more data and more light. Having it at a higher f-stop then also allowed more things to be in focus. So the lower the f-stop, so say f1.2 or 1.8 or f2.8, the more specific the focal point would be. Now obviously as you increase that number up to f8, f22 even, the more things are going to be in focus. But be warned, when you get to the higher numbers, say like f16 and f22, you're going to start to see a little bit of softness. It's going to start to feel a little bit softer. So I typically tend to shoot between f1.8 or whatever the lowest aperture is that I'm shooting at. Aperture is also the f-stop. Between that and around f8 to f11. I never shoot anything really above f11, purely because it starts to get all soft and not very great. After that, I tend to use ND filters. That's a personal preference. There's ND filters linked below if you want to have a look at that, and if you want me to do a complete in-depth video about ND filters, I can. So the shots that I took in the second location on the bridge, which was, to be honest, a much better location in terms of like creativeness, with the long exposure trails and the lights from the cars and the city. It's a very impactful, strong image, and I'm very happy with the way that the edit turned out. Now, if you do want to know where that location is, it's on the screen. You can go and find it yourself. I want to see some photos from you guys if you're based in London on the hashtag OpticalWander from that location. It is a good location. You just have to try and like work out the logistics of getting there. It is quite a bit of a shit place to get to, but the results are worth it. If you have any other locations like that you think I should go and shoot, drop it down in the comments. It'll be good to hear. Just before we jump into the hashtag, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and hit the like button, because actually there's a good amount of you that don't do any of them. So if you're watching this, stop what you're doing, press the subscribe button, press the like button, and comment down below saying done. Thank you. Right, hashtag OpticalWander is a hashtag that I use over on Instagram so I could look at your guys' work. It's currently at 80,000 posts, which is insane. It's growing at like 200 to 300 per day, which is amazing. We're trying to get this hashtag to 100,000 by the end of the year. Screen record, and let's go to the recents, and we're going to scroll down. There's another panning shot of a scooter. These are becoming very more prominent, but I like that from 20 Frank 88. Scrolling down a little bit more, that's quite a creative shot. That's nice, from 7th verse. I shouted this dude out in another video. I'm trying to shout at different people, but this dude's work is generally really catching my eye at the moment. This one here from Malzevin. Also, if it is your first day here and you're well done, hello, hi. I'm not very good at pronouncing Instagram tags, so yeah, sorry. You can see them on screen anyway. Scrolling down a little bit more, that's a really cool detailed shot. I don't know what it is, but I like it. From Ativ26. That's a cool harsh light shot from Photo Kowalski. Nice. Black and white as well. I need to do some more black and white work. I don't do it enough. This one is from Minder.official. Wow. I really want to go to the Faroe Islands, so if you fancy hosting me, hi. Scrolling down, let's do one more that kind of fits in line with the long exposure vibe. Let's go with Soul to this long exposure. Chris in London, thank you very much. I knew you'd be the one to give it to me. Thank you. I'm gonna regret saying. Now the rest of this week is looking pretty hectic for myself. I've got to go up to Newcastle, then I've got to go to Maidenhead, then I've got to go to somewhere else, and then I've got to be here, there, and everywhere. There's a lot of exciting things happening in my life at the moment, and I can't wait to share them all with you. There's a lot of contract stuff going on. I'm going to be talking about that soon. The reason I haven't mentioned it yet is purely because we are waiting for a specific thing. When we release that specific thing as a company, as they release it as a company, I will then share what I'm doing. So with all that being said, create more, stress less, and guess what? I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.